really think wrist work is so important because, as I've already said, we as human beings are not supposed to type and text as much. Um, Especially, if any of you guys do sew or play the guitar or anything like that, like we're very dexterous animals with our fingers, but we tend to abuse them a little bit. And then we come into yoga and we put a lot of pressure on our hands. And after a whole day of just sort of typey, then we suddenly come into like plank pose, and it's harsh. So we're going to start today really releasing and strengthening and opening into the wrists. And the wrists, as any part of the body, is interconnected, right? So we also have to do some forearms, some fingers, the muscles around the outer palm. This is the outer forearm. This is the inner forearm, at least as I will explain it. And so hopefully all of that will feel a lot more energized, awake, and strong, so that then when we start to actually flow, we have a steadier ground, a steadier foundation. So come to sit up on something, whether it's a little stack of books or a towel or a block or a couple of blocks. You want to sit effortlessly, at least for these first couple of moments while we work with our hands and wrists. Okay. So I'm going to use my little stopwatch. So this is not going to be longer than a minute, I promise. But reach your arms up. And all you're going to do is you're going to gather your fingers and thumbs and extend your fingers and thumbs, but as fast as you can for a minute. Ready? Go. So nice and fast. You might start to feel some heat around your forearms, both inner and outer forearm. If it starts being like, oh my God, just slow it down. That's fine. Oh, a minute's a long time, isn't it? Maybe we'll do 45 seconds. But when you expand, really try to flick the fingers. Oh, warm, eh? And really get those hands nice and active. Nearly there, nearly there. Really try to gather them all and flick them all. Lots of movement. Oh. Okay, we're nearly at a minute. Okay, and then just slow it down softly, shake them out. You're already like, that's enough, thanks. Okay, we're not even close. Okay, so reach the arms up again. And I wrote this down as the Queen's wave. You're essentially doing in and out. I thought of this as the Queen's wave, but a little faster. Not as fast as before, but then here's the kicker. Try to keep the elbows somewhat still. Now, they're not going to be totally still. There's a little bit of rotation, but you're really trying to rotate at the wrists and the forearms more than the elbows and the shoulders. Breathe. This one's easier, isn't it? Just take another couple of moments. All right, and then slowly release and just shake out again. And then bring your hands to prayer. Ooh. And just turn the fingers out and start to turn the fingers down. They don't need to move all the way down. They might not, don't worry. But press the heels of the hands and the finger pads, so around the backs of the knuckles, towards one another, and just let those fingers drop down. If it's impossible, then have your fingers pointing forward instead of down. That's fine. Yep, that's better, James. Just take a breath there. And this won't move you a lot, but just slowly move the upside down prayer over as though towards your right armpit. You'll feel a little bit extra stretch into your right forearm. And then just move the prayer over to the other side, over towards the left armpit. Keep the heels of the hands together. And then come on back. Turn the prayer back to normal prayer. Release, shake out again. And now you're going to bring the backs of the hands, so the space behind the palms, together. So the fingers are pointing down. Good. And then just keeping the heels of the wrists together, drop the elbows and try to gather the fingers and thumbs together. So the elbows are not in a straight line anymore. They're trying to drop down. Yeah. They don't have to move very much. That's totally fine, especially if you're kind of tight in the forearm and the wrist. You might not get a lot of movement. Okay, Lift the elbows to release, shake the hands out again. Now let's start with the right hand because usually we're tighter on the right hand. But if you're left-handed, start with the left hand, okay? Reach the arm forward, palm faces forward. Now with your other hand, just draw your little finger out and back towards you a little bit. Try not to let the other fingers curl in. Try to keep the hands spread. Relax the shoulders away from your ears. Good. And then let go of the little finger, come to the ring finger, pull it gently down and back. Again, not a huge movement. You're not trying to like break your finger off or anything. You're just creating some space and a lot of energy into the palm and into the finger. And then we'll do the middle finger. Pull it gently, gently back. Try again not to let the other fingers curl. Good. And then index finger. And pull it almost a little bit out and back, so there's a bit more space. Good. And then let go of that. And then bring it all the way around to the thumb. And you're not going to pull the thumb down. You're in fact almost pulling the thumb out towards the outer forearm, but try to stretch the fingers down towards the floor. Straighten that right arm a little bit more. Good. Let go of the thumb, release, give it a shake, and we're going to change. In fact, just notice the difference. It's so sort of fun, especially if you're right-handed. That'll feel quite big. Let's do the other side. So your non-dominant hand now. Palm faces forward, little finger out and back. Keep stretching the other fingers out. Try not to let them curl in. Great. Let go and bring that ring finger towards you just a little bit. And then middle finger. Try not to let the other fingers curl. Great. And then index finger, pull it a little bit out and back towards you. Good. And then bring that hand around. And now the thumb, you're bringing it almost back towards the outer forearm, but press the heel of the hand forward and draw those fingers straight down. Nice, Vicky. Good. Okay. And then let go of the thumb, release, shake out again. Now bring the arms out, be thumbs up for a second, but then curl your thumbs into your palm and curl the other four fingers over the thumbs. Now all you're going to do is bring your hands as though down towards the floor. So try not to turn the wrists. So the inner wrist is still pointing straight up like thumbs up, but all that happens is you draw the fingers down. Yeah. So this is a stretch into the side, the inner side of the wrist. It's a weird place to stretch, but I'm really into it. Take a breath. Okay, and then just release that, release, shake the hands out again. Now, whatever you're sitting on, scooch it out the way. We're gonna come to all fours, but we're not quite done with this. Goodness, I know you'll be delighted to hear. Bring my notes with me. Okay, so when you're in all fours, first you're gonna be on normal all fours, but let's do the left hand first, just so that we keep it even from before. Turn the left fingers out and maybe back towards your knee. Now we've done this before, this one. Now if the hand doesn't want to turn back towards the knee, turn it out towards the side of your mat instead. That'll be fine. And just for a moment, draw the shoulders down your back. Press the finger pads down, press the palm down. And turn the left fingers back to normal. We'll do the other. So right hand. And again, just be aware if you're right-handed, this will be your tighter side. Press down through the hands, the knuckles, the palms, the fingers. Draw the shoulders away from your ears. Relax your jaw. And then turn that right hand forward again. Now sit back onto your heels for a second, and now think of it like a gorilla. You're going to come onto the backs of the hands, so the space behind the palms with the fingers pointing towards your knees. And then as best you can, try to straighten the arms. They might not straighten all the way. And if you can take it a little bit more, then you gather your fingers and thumbs together, kind of like when we were in that upside down prayer, similar idea. Try to straighten the arms a little bit more. They might not straighten all the way, don't sweat it. Release the fingers, bend the elbows to release, shake the hands out. We're going to come back into either one more time. So come back to all fours. And then start with the right hand, turn the right fingers either out or back. And now we're going to do the left as well. So left hand either out or back. Shoulders away from your ears. And now this time, you're going to start to move your hips back towards your heels and just gently, slowly, slowly lift the heels of the hands up off the floor and almost start to bend your elbows towards your knees. They don't move very far. Do you love this, Vicky? Vicky's like laughing out loud here. And then you just peel your hands off, pause for a moment, and you'll stretch through the fingers.
Kidding.
And then peel all the way off and shake out. Nearly there, other way. So that gorilla one. So come onto the tops of the hands. Try to straighten the arms again. Doesn't matter if you can't straighten them. And then, kind of like we did on that last one, you're just starting to peel the hands off the floor. But do this by bending the elbows back towards your thighs. And the heels of the hands almost peel off. And then you're kind of on your fingers or your knuckles. Feels so weird. And then you just peel the rest of the fingers off and shake out your hands again. Good. Okay. So, let's see. Is that what? That's the last thing, I think. Let me just make super sure. Yeah, no, that's okay. All right. So now, the idea is, I forgot to mute you guys, so let me just mute you. Okay. Coming straight into like down dog on your hands would be too much because we've created a lot of space into the wrists and the forearms. So come onto your fingertips. This is asking for a lot of somewhat unusual strength in the hands. So don't sweat it if this is hard. But as you exhale, round your back, like for cat stretch, but push the fingertips down and almost scoop the inner palm up. As you inhale, lift the crown of the head, lift the tail, and slide your shoulders down your back. And exhale, round your back again. Just easing into the spine, easing into your lungs. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more. And exhale. Neutral spine, inhale. Option to stay here or give it a go. Exhale, fingertip downward dog. Lift the hips. Your hands will be like, what? And if it's too much, come back to all fours. Just take a breath there. And if you're on fingertip down dog, release the knees back down. And everyone come to kneeling and just shake your hands out. Well done. Okay, so lots of space into the hands, right? So spread the fingers wide. Before you put your hands down, spread your fingers like you're trying to make them as wide as they possibly can go. And then keep them that wide as you plant them on the floor. I mean, you want them to kind of like take up like half your mat. Then keep that, tuck the toes, and as you exhale, lift your knees to downward dog. Press the palms down, press the finger pads down, and then pad out the heels. Push the hands into the mat so those forearms are long, the upper arms are long, the spine is long. But try not to lose all that good work that you did to create space and energy into the wrists, the forearms, the hands, the fingers. Take another breath there, make your down dog still, stretch the heels back away from the toes. And then as you exhale, drop down to child's pose, knees down, sit on back, rest the forehead. And just take a breath.